Shalom all. Good morning in Israel. You're probably sleeping in New York. I don't know what you're doing on the West Coast. Bunch of different time zones there. So I know you guys haven't heard from me in a while, and the last post almost no one saw. I don't know if those are the Facebook algorithms, but if this gets out there, which it may or may not, I don't even care anymore. A couple of things that I want to mention. Here we go again. I don't know where to start. Okay, we can start by the fact that I am visibly exhausted. To the point which a neighbor gave me Xanax so I could have one decent night's sleep. And now I'm exhausted from the Xanax, but it's not something I normally do. Which brings me to my next point. Here in Israel, there's a whole new trend of problem. Not that this wasn't anything before October 7th, but since October 7th, we have a serious, serious problem. We know about the obvious. We literally live in fear every single day and night. And whatever peaceful calm we're experiencing, no one believes it. It's like, yeah, it's calm until it's not calm. So we're always living under the cloud of, okay, when is that going to happen? And now with everything escalating in the north, it's like, oh, yay, a whole new round of, oh, my God. And 2 weeks ago when I was in, where was I? I'm not thinking yet. I'm just so tired. Katsrin. And I had a small post about that. Beautiful, quaint, it's lovely, it's lush flora and fauna and rolling hills, just magnificent, it's pastoral. And the people were just telling me that, fighter jets, right? That was an important part of this. Fighter jets. Ad kadei kach. To the degree that you pretty much couldn't have a conversation with anyone outside. That's how loud they were. And it was constant. It was one, then another, then another, then another, sometimes two together. It was like, wow. And I asked people, like, what is up with those fighter jets? A lot of them. And the answer from pretty much everyone, and you know me, I talk a lot and make friends. Yay! The common answer was that, well, actually, it's a really quiet place. Nothing ever happens here. I mean, as far as war, as far as attacks, as far as terrorists, we live our lives. It's really sweet. It's quiet. It's beautiful. It's nice. Uneventful. However, we are incredibly close to really close to the Syrian border, and we're also quite close to the Lebanon border. And so, these planes come back and forth because they have to, just to make sure. But it's really nice. And the one time we had a siren at the beginning, it turned out to be an error. And it was retracted. We had apologies from the powers that be. Yeah, no, it wasn't really. We didn't mean to do that. It's all good. And an hour after I left this beautiful, quaint, sleepy, peaceful town, they had their first rocket barrage. And I can only think about the people with whom I spoke and how they said to themselves, oh my God, we just told that girl that nothing happens here. And now look what's going on. And this is in the entire North. Then the next day there were more. And the next day there were more. And now every single day something's going on there. Which goes to show you that you really can't trust the quiet. I'm in Jerusalem. Friends of mine who live elsewhere and who've been here for 30 years or more are afraid to come to Jerusalem. So it's affected my social life. These are people I grew up with, grade school. They won't come to Jerusalem. They're terrified. Truth is, rockets are scary. But people on foot who want to kill you, that's a little more scary. They usually get it right. And that's been happening literally on a daily basis. Whether you hear about it or not, it's been happening. So illicit drug use has become a very popular thing now, a very big problem. I've heard about it firsthand from people. And then last night, for the first time, I heard it on a Hebrew news channel. Young, old. Just like our enemies, they don't discriminate. They don't care. They don't care how old you are. The younger, the more challenging, the better it is. But we're talking about drugs that can kill people, whether it be fentanyl, or things that you shoot up. People get very creative. They've been creative for years. But now it's like really a national problem. Why is it a national problem, you may ask, if you haven't already figured it out? It's a national and ongoing and growing problem. Because although we try to maintain some sense of normalcy, we are constantly living with this fear of the unknown and, even worse, fear of the known. So many people have lost loved ones in this mess. So many people have family members in Gaza and up north. I know someone who has 5 sons. And every one of them is fighting. Some are in the reserves. Some are doing their national service. These people don't sleep. No one sleeps. Everyone seems to have a sleep disorder here. And so drugs have been the temporary fix, and ongoing worse and worse and worse temporary fix. Which unfortunately is not turning into such a temporary thing. It's turning into a situation where people have to be hospitalized if they haven't killed themselves by doing this, unfortunately. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because while, of course, everyone is entitled to an opinion. Everyone. That's what we go on. Everyone has opinions, and that's perfect, and it's normal, and it should be. However, if you don't live in Israel, especially you haven't been in Israel since this whole thing started, you may have relatives in Israel, a brother, a sister, anyone else. Good. And they may report to you a couple of things, but you're still reading the freaking mainstream news. If you have an opinion, even a strong one, about Israel, about this situation, about our government, as flawed as it may be, and it is. Do not share your opinions with us who do live in Israel as fact. I've said this before. It's fine to say, I think that, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. You have an opinion. You could be pro-Trump, pro-Biden. It's fine. Pro none of them. Because who the hell knows what's going to go on after this. But don't inform us about your opinion as if it's fact, as if you know anything. Even the political experts don't know anything. So if you're listening to them and you're forming an opinion based on what they're saying, it's an opinion. It's not fact. So if I can get to this with, I want to read something. It's just blowing my mind. This is a very, very close friend of mine. Obviously, we have very, very different political opinions, and we have to respect that about one another, right? We all have to respect. We all try to respect one another anyway. So let's see if I can just find it.